Imagine a time long ago, a time when the world was still shrouded in mystery and the boundaries of empires were ever expanding. The year is 43 AD, a pivotal moment in the annals of history. A mighty empire, the Romans, sets its sights on a distant, mysterious island known to them as Britannia. The Romans, with their legions of disciplined soldiers, are coming to Britain, driven by ambition and the promise of untold riches. They are drawn by the promise of riches, the allure of new territories, and the desire to expand their power and influence across the known world. But Britain is not an empty land, waiting to be claimed. It is inhabited by fierce tribes of warriors, the Britons, who are ready to defend their homeland. They are a people with their own customs and beliefs, fiercely protective of their freedom and way of life. The clash between these two worlds, Rome and Britain, will be a defining moment in history, a collision of cultures and ideologies. This is the story of the Roman conquest of Britain, a tale of epic battles, cunning strategies, and the enduring legacy of two cultures colliding in a struggle for dominance. It is a story of courage and resistance, of adaptation and change, as both sides fight for their survival and their future. The Romans came to conquer, but they stayed to shape a new Britannia, laying the foundations for a society that would bear their mark for centuries to come, influencing everything from architecture to governance. This clash of civilizations, of eagle against warrior, will unfold over the next 4 centuries, leaving an indelible mark on the history of both peoples. It is a story etched in blood and glory, a testament to the enduring power of human ambition and the unyielding spirit of those who resist domination. It is a story that continues to resonate today, reminding us of the forces that have shaped our world and the enduring impact of the past on the present, a legacy that still echoes through the ages. To understand this epic clash, we must first journey back to the Roman Empire at its zenith, a time when its power and influence were unmatched. Rome, a city on the Italian peninsula, had grown into a vast empire, a beacon of civilization and military might. It stretched from the sun-baked sands of North Africa to the rugged hills of Scotland, encompassing diverse cultures and landscapes. Roman legions, disciplined and relentless, had conquered much of the known world, their iron will and strategic prowess unmatched. Their emperors, worshipped as gods, commanded absolute power, their decrees shaping the destiny of millions. Across the English Channel lay Britain, a land shrouded in mist and mystery, its rolling hills and dense forests hiding ancient secrets. The Romans called it Britannia, a name that evoked both fascination and fear. To them, it was a land of wild beauty, rich in resources, but also a place of unknown dangers and fierce inhabitants. The Britons, divided into numerous tribes, were renowned for their ferocity in battle, their warriors feared by all who faced them. They were skilled warriors, wielding swords and spears, their bodies adorned with intricate tattoos and war paint, symbols of their bravery and heritage. For years, Britain had remained a tantalizing prize just beyond Rome's grasp, a land of promise and peril. Julius Caesar, the legendary Roman general, had made 2 brief incursions onto the island in 55 and 54 BC, testing the resolve of its inhabitants, but these were mere probes, testing the waters of conquest, gauging the strength and spirit of the Britons. Caesar's legions had tasted British resistance, and while they had won victories, they had not stayed to conquer, leaving the island's fate undecided. Britain, for the time being, remained unconquered, a land of defiant tribes and untamed wilderness, waiting for the next chapter in its storied history. Nearly a century after Caesar's expeditions, a new emperor sat on the Roman throne, Claudius. He was a man of vision and determination, eager to leave his mark on the vast empire. Claudius was an ambitious ruler, eager to prove himself worthy of his predecessors. His reign was marked by a relentless pursuit of power and prestige. He craved military glory, a desire that led him to set his sights on the unconquered Isle of Britain. This distant land represented both a challenge and an opportunity for Claudius. Several factors influenced Claudius's momentous decision. His advisors and generals debated the risks and rewards, weighing the potential gains against the dangers of such an ambitious campaign. Firstly, Britain was a land of significant resources. Its natural wealth was a tempting prize for the resource-hungry Roman Empire. Its fertile lands promised abundant harvests, and its mines held the allure of valuable metals, particularly gold and tin. These resources could greatly enrich the empire and strengthen Claudius's rule. Secondly, Britain had become a haven for rebels and fugitives from Roman rule in Gaul, modern-day France. These dissidents posed a constant threat to Roman stability. Conquering Britain would eliminate this threat and solidify Roman control over the region. It would send a clear message to any who dared oppose Roman authority. Finally, there was the matter of legacy. Claudius was acutely aware of the shadow cast by his illustrious predecessors. Claudius yearned to etch his name in the annals of Roman history alongside the greats like Caesar and Augustus. He wanted to be remembered as a conqueror and a visionary. Conquering Britain, a feat that had eluded even Julius Caesar, would cement his place as a great conqueror and secure his legacy for generations to come. It was a bold move that promised eternal glory. Thus, driven by a potent mix of ambition, greed, and strategic calculation, Claudius resolved to launch a full-scale invasion of Britain. His decision would alter the course of history. The die was cast, the Roman eagle was about to descend upon the shores of Britannia. The stage was set for a monumental clash that would echo through the ages. Section 4. First boots on the ground. The invasion begins. In the spring of 43 AD, a vast Roman invasion force assembled on the northern coast of Gaul. 4 legions comprising some 40,000 men prepared to set sail for Britain. These were not just soldiers, but a highly organized fighting force, accompanied by engineers, archers, and cavalry. They brought with them siege engines, weapons, and supplies, all the tools of conquest. Leading this formidable army was Aulus Plautius, a seasoned general known for his ruthlessness and military acumen. Under Plautius's command, the Roman fleet crossed the English Channel, landing at various points along the southeastern coast of Britain. The invasion had begun. The initial landings met with little resistance. The Britons, taken aback by the sheer scale of the Roman invasion force, chose to retreat inland, hoping to lure the Romans into unfamiliar territory. This strategy, however, would prove to be a fatal miscalculation. The Romans, masters of logistics and warfare, were not easily deterred. They established fortified camps, securing their positions and prepared to advance inland, their objective, the heart of Britain. Section 5. The Battle of the Medway, a bloody welcome. The Roman advance inland was not without its challenges. The Britons, though initially taken aback, were determined to defend their homeland. They harassed the Roman columns, launching hit-and-run attacks, making use of their knowledge of the terrain. But the Romans pressed on, their discipline and superior weaponry giving them an edge in battle. A decisive confrontation loomed. At the river Medway, the Britons, led by the warrior chiefs Caratacus and Togodumnus, prepared to make their stand. They chose their battleground carefully, hoping to use the river as a natural barrier against the Roman advance. The Battle of the Medway was a fierce and bloody affair. The Britons fought with unmatched ferocity, but the Roman legions held firm. Their disciplined formations, superior equipment, and skilled use of cavalry turned the tide of battle. The Britons, despite their courage, were routed, their forces scattered. The victory at the Medway was a significant one for the Romans. It cleared the way for their advance towards Camulodunum, modern-day Colchester, a major British settlement and a key objective in their campaign to subjugate southern Britain. Section 6. Boudica's uprising, a nation in arms. The Roman victory at the Medway, however, did not extinguish British resistance. In 60 AD, a new threat emerged, one that would shake Roman rule to its core. Boudica, queen of the Iceni tribe, rose up in rebellion. Boudica's fury was fueled by personal tragedy. The Romans, after her husband's death, had seized her lands and publicly flogged her. Her rebellion was driven by a thirst for vengeance and a desperate desire to free her people from Roman tyranny. Boudica's charisma and impassioned pleas for freedom united the British tribes as never before. Her army, swelled by those eager to cast off Roman rule, marched on Colchester, burning the Roman settlement to the ground. They then sacked Londinium, present-day London, and Verulamium, now St. Albans, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Boudica's rebellion was a serious threat to Roman rule in Britain. For a brief time it seemed as if the Romans might be driven back into the sea. The Romans, however, were not easily defeated. They regrouped, their resolve hardened. They met Boudica's forces at the Battle of Watling Street.